something from your book. You're writing about outliers, people who have achieved extraordinary things and how they've been able to accomplish it. And you said it makes a difference where and when you grew up. It's not enough to ask what successful people are like. In other words, it is only by asking where they are from that we can unravel the logic behind who succeeds and who doesn't. So success is not just a matter of someone being born with genius or born with luck.
Yeah, I want to get away from that idea. And I want to kind of, I very consciously set out to write about all the people around successes and not the successful person themselves so much.
Because nobody accomplishes success by themselves.
Yeah, which is, in itself a kind of cliche. It takes a village, that kind of idea. But I don't think we take it all that seriously. We kind of acknowledge the fact that, yeah, they must have had help all along the way. Yeah, they must have had a supportive family. But they don't actually sit down. What I want to do is sit down and sort of try and enumerate what are those specific factors that go into extraordinary achievement.
I met Rishabh Mokapati a few years ago. Lean and tall, with clothes that, like their owner, have given up on holding themselves together, Rishabh houses beneath his disheveled hair a brilliant mind. One capable of reading Shakespeare like it was Dr. Seuss. One capable of creating complex algorithms in minutes. One that was fully aware of the opportunities it was robbed of solely because of the environment it was born into. Born into a low-class family, Rishabh's early life was marked by setbacks and difficulties.
You alright?
No, man. It seems like the whole universe is against me. Why? Well, I had this scholarship to read, and they canceled my scholarship only because my mom couldn't sign this one stupid form.
That one form's holding you back?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and I really don't blame her. She didn't understand what had to be filled out on the form, and when she was growing up, she never had to do any kind of this financial statements or anything. So, to be honest, really, the college is at fault.
Why is it at fault?
Well, I would think that they would be a little bit more accommodating when it came to like its students, and the fact that my parents didn't know how, or my mom didn't know how to do it. It's kind of sad that they didn't accommodate me. So,
yeah, you look like a bright kid.
Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but I have an IQ of 195.
Yeah. What up, clown? What up, Okay, I'm faded, I'm blown, I'm jaded, I'm gone. Tell these bitches I done dated, I done made it up on my own. Got my eyes all up on that throne. Don't let me get in my zone. It's my time, it's my time. Don't let me get in my zone, man. I'm representing my city. I got it up on my feeling. Got your bitch back at home while I'm pressing up on those cities. On the knees when I touch down, I call it getting that T-Bo. My money long, your money short. I call it Danny DeVito. I keep them hoes thirsty. I got verses for you lanes. Picture perfect with a frame, with a hearse. I put your name on it. Black roses, black roses. When I'm on, I'm a ball bitch, Amber Rose. All I need is a team with a bad hoe. Bad hoes on bad hoes. Take a look. Bitch, I'm a star. Yeah. Won't you get your pretty ass up in my car? Up in my car. Come take a look. Bitch, I'm a star. Bitch, I'm a star. Everywhere we go, they know just who we are.
I be rolling like it's summertime. Confident this summer's mine. True religion, Nike swooshes, closet full of Jordan signs. Life been so crazy since a nigga signed them dotted lines. Receiving more respect than Jerry Rice with them 49s. Lonely on the road to riches. Haters paying dollar signs. Success is like us black people. Show up on its own time. I hustle like I'm D-Robes. Man, I keep a cold down. Sharper than a porcupine. Should have my own clothing line. I let them dream, they stop me, wake them. ASAP like on Rocky. That's how Tacoma taught me reading. Loud and clear, you copy. I be clean, that's why she got me stealing. Heart so damn, she caught me seeing bills on top of bills like I was born into them copies. No shoes on my feet, working hard all week. Been broken down for so long, money's up in my sleep. In the wintertime, I'm skating mine, make the summer stretch with that summer shine. All the power and the hunger got me ready.
Come take a look, bitch, I'm a star. Yeah. Won't you get your pretty ass up in my car? Come take a look, bitch, I'm a star. Everywhere we go, they know just who we are. Come take a look, bitch, I'm a star. Won't you get your pretty ass up in my car? Come take a look, bitch, I'm a star. Everywhere we go, they know just who we are.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a kid, I was always really interested in learning and understanding a lot of the stuff that happens in the world. And the fact that they didn't take that into account when they made the decision to end my scholarship or my background or anything like that, it kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, that's unbelievable that it happened. To really that happened.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible. I expected them to at least understand, at least help me a little bit, and they didn't do anything like that.
Sounds like you're a victim of circumstance.
Yes, I am. I remember growing up, like, my family didn't have anything. I had 3 other brothers, and they each came from a different father, and each one left my mom. Either they killed themselves or went to prison, or they just walked off. So I never knew my dad. But my mom really tried her best to make ends meet and provide for us. So I was really hoping that getting this college degree, I could do the same for her. And I really felt that even at a young age, that my intelligence, I could use that and help my family. But this is a major blow to my whole career.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm reading this book called Outliers. And what I've learned from it is that people really are controlled by their circumstances. And I think I just find it interesting that I'm talking to you in this moment when reading this book. Because really your environment is what's tracking you down, and it hurts to hear it.
Does it say anything else, like how to rectify that?
All it says, it does actually. It talks about the author Malcolm Gladwell. It talks about his life, how he was only able to rectify his life because the actions of his own ancestors, his great-great-grandmothers, who they shaped his circumstance. So while you cannot necessarily fix your own environment, you yourself can actually help those of others.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and hopefully, like, I'll be going for this job interview, and I expect to have a construction job. I applied there, and hopefully that will at least provide for me for a couple of months, at least till I can find some other way to make do. And actually, I'm going for a job interview right now, and it's kind of getting a little bit late. I'm sorry, but it was nice talking to you.
You too.
Thank you for the
I wish you luck.
advice. Thank you.
Every night, dozens of commercial pilots fly over this rocky outcrop and land at Guam's Agana International Airport. 42-year-old Captain Park Young-chol is at the controls. Just past 1 in the morning, Korean Air Flight 801 makes initial radio contact with Kurt Mayo, the radar controller at Guam's airport. Captain Park has navigated Nimitz Hill 9 times before, but this time there's a major difference. At airports around the world, pilots land with the help of a glide slope, a system of electronic beacons that assists planes to safely touch down. If pilots follow the directions given by the glide slope, it guides them to the foot of the runway. The glide slope beacon at the Guam airport has been removed for scheduled maintenance. Pilots have been notified that it will be out of service for 2 months. But impaired navigation is only part of the problem. Captain Park is fighting exhaustion.
Really sleepy.
Now, as the plane approaches Guam, clouds and rain block their way.
Captain, Guam condition is no good.
It's raining a lot.
As the plane descends, cloud and rain close in again. They've lost sight of the airport.
Look carefully.
As the plane flies closer to the ground, the crew expects they'll see the airport any second. But the rain makes it hard to see anything.
Isn't the glide slope working? Wiper on.
Then, a computerized voice fills the cockpit.
500.
It's the ground proximity warning system, which tells the crew they're just 500 feet in the air. But they still can't see anything out the windows.
200.
The plane is now just 200 feet above the ground, but still the crew can't see the runway. They're quickly running out of time.
Let's make a missed approach. Not inside. It's like missed approach. Go around. Go around. Perhaps.
I need a Korean Air come back to you?
801.
Affirmative.
Korean Air 801, Guam. No.
You checked in with me, I cleared him to land. I don't know where he's at. Never did have him in sight.
You never saw him?
Negative.
He didn't land?
Negative.
My God.
I don't have him. He called me once. I cleared him to land, told him not in sight. I don't have him.
Well, he must have crashed then.
Hey, what's up? Hey. Where you go off to, old sport? Visiting some people down here. Oh, really? Yeah. What you reading? Oh, Outliers. Where you going? Oh, we're going to the airport. I was gonna catch the bus. I missed the last one. So I just wait here. Airport? Careful, man. Hear about that crash? Crash? Which crash? That one from Korean Air? Oh, you mean 801? Yeah, that one. Oh yeah, I know about that. That was a pretty bad incident right there. Yeah. 120 people, boom! Dead. Shame. It's a real big shame that they really couldn't do anything about it. Man, in my opinion, they're pretty stupid pilots, in my opinion, man. What makes you say that? Well, the thing is, you got bad weather, but you can't control the weather. You still have to land your plane. I mean, they weren't even communicating with each other. Look, let me tell you something. When the little lady in the box tells you you're at 200 feet, you're at 200 feet whether there's a runway or not. But no, they still look for a runway. I mean, and the co-pilot knew, and the captain's just doing what he's doing, and nobody even told him. And you have a perfect plane, perfect passengers, perfect situation, bam, you hit the ground, you die.
I mean, how do you know all this?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm a captain. Name's Raju. Captain Anand Raju.
Ah, gotcha. Good to see you, Captain.
Yeah, you too.
So, this plane is just all about communication?
Well, let me tell you something. You know, yesterday I was flying a plane, right? I was landing in Sri Lanka. Okay? I was like half an hour from landing. All of a sudden, BAM! Word strike! 3 engines just cut off right then. There's a problem. I was landing overweight. I had more fuel than I needed. 60 tons overweight. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of elephants. Now, thing is, I'm pretty sexy, so I got that down 15 minutes flat. But there's another thing. I practice. And I don't shut up. I tell the ATC what I want. Thing is, I said, yo man, I gotta land. I want to land in the opposite direction. They better make me land in the opposite direction. Otherwise, you know, you don't want people dying. That's pretty... that won't be cool. So anyways, I landed that plane. Went pretty good. Oh, went pretty good. Thing is, I got a lot of medals. You know. I mean, so many medals, but then even the little island of, what's it, Montenegro?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Here, I'll show you. It's right here. Watch. Where is it? I keep it in my pocket, just in case. Yeah.
Oh, you keep it metal. You keep it in the plastic wrap, too.
I know, exactly. Flight extraordinaire, right there.
Ah,
anyway.
Real big optimist right there.
Yep. Well, anyway.
So, but explain to me, the Korean Air flight, what was the miscommunication about it? You said they weren't talking to each other?
They didn't talk to each other. I don't know. I think the problem was that they're Asian. You know, these Asian people, they have a big honor society, right?
I have no idea.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thing is, all these Korean pilots and like Japanese pilots and stuff, they're all like, if you're the highest level authority, you can't even say nothing to them. They get angry. Thing is, I don't care. I tell people what the heck I want. Most important thing is that, you know, every idiot knows how to fly a plane. But the thing is, if you want to fly a plane well, you want the skills to be a captain, well, that lies outside the flight school.
Alright. Good to know, man.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go catch my bus. Good, nice meeting you.
I guess my bus is here too. Let's go.
Alright.
You know, pretty nice planet nowadays, right? Yeah. I want to go to Germany one day. I have a jaywalker. Oh,
He was always my favorite player, because he knows that he was lucky. He had a series of fortunate events. Especially today, in a day and age where the internet and technology dominate the workplace, another path has opened up for several others who, just like Rishab and Anand, are outliers.
I came to a cross in my path of sorts. I was doing well at school, but it was always League of Legends, esports that drew my attention. My role models were Dendi and Doublelift and Fear, who showed to me, and as well as many others, that my dream and skills had potential. Since my parents allowed me to play from an early age, and since I had access to internet and a computer before my friends did, and since I was lucky to be born just in time for the start of the esports scene, well, I'm where I am today.
About damn time that I got out of my basement. About damn time I got around the country and I hit these stages. I was made to slay them. 10,000 hours, I'm so damn close I can taste it. On some Malcolm Gladwell, David Bowie meets Kanye shit. This is dedication. A life lived for art has never a life wasted. 10,000. 10,000 hours felt like 10,000 years. 10,000 years, they carry me.
I'm from Ukraine. My nickname is Dendi. I finished my university and I'm just playing computer games right now.
Он занимался музыкой, он играл на фортепиано. Он занимался танцами. В школе мы ставили музыкальные сказки, где он исполнял главные роли. Зрители всегда восхищались его артистичностью. Их детская группа выступала, Данила очень выделялся.
When we were growing up, it wasn't a good time financially for our family. But my grandma helped us to get our first computer in 1997, early, comparing with other kids in Ukraine. We got visitors every day. The friends of my older brother used to come to visit us, and we were playing games.
And Daniil, every time, look what we do. Every time we try to push him away, but he come back and look again.
Это было все в большей степени, чем у моих детей.
During all his conscious life, we were trying to stop him from playing. We were hiding our computer cord everywhere in our apartment, but he always found it.
Мне всегда хотелось его больше понять, даже его вот то увлечение, мне хотелось больше понять, и были на то причины, я не буду о них сейчас говорить. Но думаю, где-то в душе он, наверное, немножко жалеет, что он...
She stopped preventing him from playing Dota. She gave Dendi the freedom to choose what is the best for him in his life. We try to put family pictures here. This is our mom and dad, and I think that this one is our favorite actually.
My childhood, we lived full life, and dad was working for all our life.
But he helped us every time in every problem. I just ask him and he'll do everything for me, for Katya, for Daniil as well. But Daniil's and Farah was like friends.
Действительно, мой муж был просто фанатичным рыбаком. Даниил был, я бы сказала, можно сказать, его самым лучшим учеником по рыбалке. Даниил имеет такое же терпение и такую же выдержку, как и его папа. Он мог часами сидеть и смотреть на поплавок, который даже не пытался дергаться.
They can sit with no speaking for hours and just enjoy each other's company. They understood each other without words.
One day I was going fishing, but Dad never showed up. And when I came home, it's already super late. he was feeling bad. He went hospital. He decided to stay for a few weeks, you know, so we watch everything, stuff like this. And cancer.
It was a very big shock for me because he was very thin. I cannot understand, this is my father. We were sure that it must be okay, but it's a very short time.
I was really sad and was crying a lot. I was sad about I couldn't say him many times how much I love him.
Но после того, как папы не стало, он не ездил на рыбалку ни разу. Ни разу. То есть пока это все осталось в прошлом.
Actually, I spent more time on your computer because I could not think about it. It's like distractor. It was like a start time actually. The push to play more. And that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm playing now. Maybe I wouldn't play at all.
The relationship of Daniil and my mom grew stronger these days. They support each other and they are very good friends. I think that this is very important for Daniil.
You know, 5 years ago I wouldn't care about many things. Now I'm thinking about it a lot. Something knock you down, you need to learn to get up. So I'm trying to research this. To learn to get up.
I haven't verbally spoken to my parents, no, for 2 years. I would always struggle with my parents. I was probably like 10 or 11, and we would just argue about everything, especially games. Like when I wanted to play, they thought it was just a complete waste of time, so it just got worse and worse over the years. So when I was like, in Asian culture, to talk back to your parents is like really bad. It's like, you know, you're a horrible kid if you even say a single word back to your parents. And it's just arguments like that, they just escalate because I'm not like a submissive kind of person. Even when I was a competitive gamer, I kind of hid it from my family. And the first time I broke out, came out of the closet with my pro gaming thing was like DreamHack, Season 1 championships. I qualified. And I finally had to tell my parents like, oh, like I'm actually being like a competitive player now and I want to go to this tournament and try to win money. And they wouldn't let me go even after I gave them like, oh, it's Riot Games, like they have a website, they're legitimate, you know, there's this news post about it, all this stuff. And they just wouldn't believe me. They're like, you're going to die if you go to Sweden for DreamHack. And I finally got my older brother, I begged him to try to help convince my parents that it was okay, and he helped me out. I was really awkward and really, I was just really introverted at the time, you know. I'm just that typical Asian guy who does nothing but play games. Like, when I finally met my team, I was just like, hi. And that was like the only thing I said. I said nothing after that. I was a presence with them, but I didn't interact with them very much. I came home and they're pretty happy, you know, but they weren't proud or anything. They're just like, oh, you made some money, that's cool. Hopefully this doesn't happen too much, you know, so I don't want you to miss too much school or lose track of what you want to do. They wanted me to go to college, they wanted me to do what they do. And then the last time I think I was 17 or 16, I was 16, and they told me to leave and I was like, okay, this time I'm actually going to leave. That's what I thought in my head. So I took my wallet, the only things I own, my wallet, my computer, and my bike. And I biked to my gas station. I went to the gas station, I called my friend, I'm like, yo, this time it's like for real, can you come pick me up? Because I have a computer now, this is like, I'm leaving the house. So, yeah, I just left home. I got like thousands of dollars in donations, which is a lot of money back then. You know, Phantom Lord gets a ton in donations right now, but like back then the community was really small, so getting thousands of dollars is huge. And that's just kind of spiraled me into becoming like, I have to all in on being a pro gamer. If I leave home and I have no degree from a college, like I have to be a pro gamer to sustain myself unless I want to go to McDonald's, you know? So yeah, I had to be a pro gamer and I did. I had a really hard time paying rent for Travis because I came there just as a couch surfer, you know, just I'm gonna stay here for a week max. That's what I said. If he actually quoted me in my Reddit message one time, he was like, yeah, I'll probably be there for a week max. I ended up living him for a year, so it just so happened that his roommate was moving out, and at that same time he was looking for a tenant, you know, to share a rent with. And I was like, I can pay, but I don't have any money right now. Maybe I can pay you more down the line, but I can only pay you like X amount this month. And he was a really nice guy. He was like, yeah, sure, I have faith. You're a pro gamer, and I was a big fan of you at DreamHack, so I was like, cool. I'm gonna try to be a pro gamer so I can pay this guy rent. And at first it was really hard. It was really hard. I had like no money in my bank account, and I was like eating fucking ramen every day. So, and then after a while, it got a lot easier. Being on Curse, they're a really rich organization, and I just so lucked out. I made guides and I made content for them, and I got paid a lot of money. The team at that time was me, SYDTKO, NY Jackie, and Liquid was on the team. He was my support. Oh god, those are the good old days. And I pretty much made like half the guides for that site because they were paying so well. I was like, why are you guys not taking advantage of this? This is so much money for just making a guide. Like, why would you not do it? And everyone else is just so lazy. I just picked up the slack and just made a bunch of guides. Every day I just tried to work on a guide. And at the end of the month, Liquid finally paid me, and I was like, this is the real deal. Like, I'm actually getting money for being a pro gamer and having all this insight in the game. I was just super happy, and I could finally pay rent that month.
Shot won't quite kill Cutie Pie. There's Ezra coming in, double lift. Nice job there. Time up comes up. And now
while I was on Curse, I had really good tournament performances. And people noticed me, and then I finally got on CLG. And as soon as I got on CLG, the money is just like it's just, I'm so like overwhelmed by the success, you know. And Travis really helped me, like, I guess, grow up as a person, because when I'm playing games and just focus on my job, you don't have basic social skills or understanding of the world. Like, when I go outside, I'm just like, how much money am I supposed to spend on food? How do I do my taxes? How do I like get a bank? I didn't have a credit card. All I had was my wallet, you know, with cash and a PayPal account. And he helped me set up a bank account. He just helped me set up my life. Yeah, I miss my brothers sometimes. I think my older brother is like the most influential figure in my life. And then my younger brother, having a younger brother really teaches you how to like be a family, you know? Like when you have to care for someone, it was just me and my older brother who raised him. So yeah, like blood is blood. Yeah, I'm still, you know, blood is blood. You have to take care of your family. If I could do it over again, I wouldn't do it nearly as bad as I did. It was so stupid. Okay, so what I should have done is had compromise so that both of us are more happy, you know? Like, I don't have to butt heads with my parents every other day. That's so stupid. I can listen to them a little bit and still do my own thing sometimes, instead of have all this conflict and like built up tension and stuff like that, so that neither of us are happy. The years leading up to that, like, I had a really rough childhood, so I didn't really need to have that. I brought that upon myself. It's not really anyone's fault but mine. I just want to go back to them and just like, just be their son one day, you know? Just be like, okay, I'm your son, and I'm doing well. But right now I can't do that, I'm too busy. Chinese culture is just so different. Like, if you're first generation, you have to just try to understand what your parents went through, you know? Like, my parents went through the Cultural Revolution. They had like hard times brought upon them. And they kind of like project that, you know? They want me to have a hard time so that they can be as successful as them, because they're like really smart people. But I don't know, if I understood them a little bit more and I appreciated them a little bit more, maybe we wouldn't have had so many fights. I can make amends someday.
Like a boat without a sailor, I go where the wind blows, just moving around like a lonesome stranger. I got no home, in search of a treasure, some place I don't know. It feels like forever. I'm making my way through the hills and deserts. I thirst for hope. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'll know when I find it. trying to figure